Hi everyone. We are Team Opcom, and I have these two beautiful girls with me hacking on this, I hope, cool product. You can go to the next slide so I can start. The colors don't look really good on this, but anyway. So I'm going to start with the problem. I was traveling the world in other countries, and I had problems like with internet connection. So you don't change cards all the time, and it's expensive to communicate, to call people. And I was traveling with a friend, and then we drive motorcycles, and we're supposed to go somewhere, and he rushes forward, and like for me to communicate to him, like I have to drive even faster to catch up and to yell at him to like stop. We're supposed to turn there, and you spend like 3 kilometers in the wrong direction. And so anyway, we figured out there is a kind of a problem that it needs to be solved, but we didn't know how to. We tried to look for some apps that could solve it, but we couldn't find anything. There's FireChat, but it's mostly textual. We needed something like you can't drive a motorcycle and text or anything. So we came here, we kind of discussed with other people what other similar problems there could be. You can switch to the next one. So for example, festivals or like concerts, they either have like too much people on a one spot and using the network, or like you're somewhere in the desert and there's nothing. And there is no way to communicate. You lose your friends and you're basically lost. Or this example, this happened to me, but I'm not the only one. As I found out, I went on a trip with a friend. It's a 12-hour flight, and we were seated super far apart. And like 12 hours, I can't talk with my friend unless we meet up at the toilet or something. So it's awkward, but it's a problem that could be solved with the technology we have. So I'm going to try to be quick to not complicate things. Like for two people to communicate, like us, or to send a message to another friend who's next to me, like I send a message, it goes through the router if I'm at home, then it goes to the internet, let's say, to make it simple, then to another router to him, and he's next to me. It was a bit complicated, and even more complicated if you're using like a provider for that kind of service. Like it goes to the tower, then to the internet, and then back to another tower, and then to the phone. And like, isn't it weird? Like we have this technology that in our pocket, like it's like an infrastructure of its own, and we could talk to each other directly. Why do this crazy circle? And like we basically don't need routers or the towers. I mean, they're useful. I'm not saying they're not. So I mean, there's only a handful of people who've tried to solve this kind of a problem. FireChat is one of them, but they're focusing on text and picture. And but we wanted really to incorporate like calls, because especially for those, like you need hands-free, you need to drive and talk with people who are nearby. And I mean, I'm not going to complicate. What they have is a bit better, but we built like some amazing things in one day, and we can really do more. Telecoms don't need to be afraid. They can incorporate this to spread the like when there is a they have problems with dead zones, and oh shit, I'm talking too fast and I'm cursing. Sorry. Let's go to the next one, and I think it's the last one. Yeah, and like this is us. This is the product. It's not perfect yet. It's all on GitHub. It's free. We submit it to the App Store. And if you understand what this means, you can help us out. If not, I'll do it some other day. And I think that's it. Okay, I'll give you like this is our prototype. I don't know who wants to try it. Like one here, and I don't know, one here, and you're connected.
Around the back.
As you can see, this phone is actually not online. It's like it has no service. It's not connected to Wi-Fi, and that one is actually connected to this hotspot here. But they're communicating together, like using Wi-Fi in the background. Anyway,
Hello.
you can ask questions.
Hello.
But anyway, you can send the phone back. I hope it comes back.